Hello everybody, it's Big Al with some more content for Lord of the Rings Rise to War. So, I am going to be doing a season update today. First off, let's check what day it is. It is day 36. This is the main account, Big Al with Dome. As everyone knows, all my activity with all my accounts has been limited so far this season because I'm helping take care of someone after surgery and did a little bit of traveling. So, let's start with going to the leaderboards. So, as you can see, personal affluence, you got Turgon, 68k. You got Mig 007, 62k. Vesemir, 61k. So, I'll scroll through the top 50 just so you can see. And there's quite a few of Linden players on this list, and that's just because we have more land than most people, which you will see when I go to the map. Okay, next we're going to go to Fellowship. As you can see, we have Dome, Soon, and Woon in Linden. We have FK It in Rohan. We have Owls in Lothlorien. And then in Erebor, which was the next biggest faction, you have Book, Golo, and Nye. You have Mordor here in 8th. Somebody else, Mercenaries in Rohan at 10th. Guardians in 11th for Lothlorien. And you have an Angmar and 2 more of the Mordor teams. So, there's that. Now I will go to Merit. One of the least important stats, in my opinion, as you guys know. As you can see, some familiar names. Lord Biggest has played with us, against us, I think, the last 2 seasons. You have Gothmar here, which I believe is EJ, which is another YouTuber. And I will scroll through a little bit so you can get some of the names. It has been quite a busy season. A lot of fronts have been moving around, and I will explain that when I show you the map, which is coming next. So, here we are in the map. As you can see, the darker blue is Linden. We have lands up here, we have lands over here and here. You have Erebor, which is the second biggest team over here, who allied with Lothlorien. Our allies were Rohan and Mordor, and I'm not sure if it was an ally or just friend with Angmar, or if Angmar was just kind of doing their own thing. That I'm not 100% sure of. I wasn't part of diplomacy. So, it started off this season, we went this way, and we took both of these passes up here and pushed into Erebor and Lothlorien. So once we started to push through here, Erebor, whether it was strategic, whatever, that is up to them, they decided to move south, and they went through Mordor, they went through Rohan, they made it all the way over here. So as we were closing up the north and the northeast, they were going through our smaller allies and running over them. So we had to send squads in every direction pretty much to help our allies out. We took care of this pass, I believe, first, or maybe it was this one first, and then started clearing from west to east. And we have gotten to here and cleared them out so they do not have access to Mordor lands anymore. Over here you have Mordor took the pass, and I think they did that a couple days ago. So now Erebor and Lothlorien are back into their original areas. I'll go through the pins really quick. You know, it's smaller pins. There's 4.6 million there, 7.2 there, 10.4 there, 12.9 there, and you have 4.6 there. It is day 36, so Dol Guldur is open, which we will be taking in about 4.5 hours, I believe. So, there is that. So the season's pretty much been decided for a while. It was Erebor ran to the south and the west, and in one way I understand it because we were beating them. So they wanted to try to get more capital, so they went south and west, which I understand, but we had to chase because they were going into our allies' lands. So, as it sits, it's looking like Erebor's going to have one. Lothlorien, I'm not sure if they're going to have one. Our allies are definitely going to have one, and then we are going to have quite a few. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We will have Dol Guldur in a few hours, and I'm not sure if we're going to have Burst Kala or not. So, or no, that's Erebor up there. Burst Kala's down here, which we have. So, that being said, now let's take a look at a couple reports. Got some already posted up for you. Okay, first, this was a very good report for me, and I will go through and show you my gear. As you all know, I'm always running Merry and Pip. Frodo and Sam. And then here's Gandalf. And my gear looks a little bit weird because I started off this season because I'm using Gandalf as my tank. I wanted to try to experiment. Since I got his relic, you know, the minus 6% damage received, I rolled the command. I wanted to see what I could do with him as the solo tank. I was not very happy with him as a solo tank, so about a third way into the season, I switched back to Frodo as my tank. Well, I will be switching my gear back around at the end of the season so that it fits. So, as you all know, there's my Gimli, and here is my Dane. And the Dane, I tried to do it with a little bit of initiative to see how that helped, to get him to be targeted less with stun and madness. And I didn't use a lot of agility, just a little bit, because I wanted the stun or the madness to go on, say, Frodo or Sam, or not really Gandalf, but even Gandalf would have been better for me if he was targeted. But it didn't work as well. So I got the Woses Hunters that I absolutely love. Okay, for this reason alone. First 4 rounds, 100% chance to gain initiative. So my Dane acts first in those rounds. And it has worked out nice. And here's Autumn, which they have a pretty good Galadriel, which everybody knows from my old days. That was my main in 1.0. But if you check out this video, put 5 points here and put 10 here. Okay, you want that madness chance, plus this is a higher percentage damage. Okay, he's got running the Gill. He's got mixed between the unit attack, unit defense. He's got King of Men, and he's got an Elrond. So, as you can see, somewhat evenly matched, you know, and I won that one. We got Buddy here, which he's running a Gill formation. And here is his gear. I think, yep, I'm actually slightly above this guy, so that's nice to see. No offense to Buddy. It's just rare for me to find on a lot of these seasons. Here's Art. He's running a Gill formation. What a surprise. It's amazing how certain commanders can impact a fight so much, like Sauron. And here is Gothmore, who I believe is EJ. And he does have a big account, as you can see, Z11, R11 Gill. He's got R12 Bjorn, and a Z1 Gandalf the White. And you notice all of his relics have 5 stars. So, I'm not expected to win this fight. I just want to cause a draw, which I did on a lot of fights, just for the fact that it slowed their advance, or I gave time for one of my buddies to come kill him. Here was another one I did well on, and this is another Gill formation. What a surprise. R5 Dane, R10 Gimli. What kind of rolls did he get? Well, at least he got 2 out of the 4 rolls. He got Commander Attack, which he needed. And then his Gandalf the White. And of course, he's got the Hysteria Helm for the classic gear. And poison damage, not so much, but he wanted the high focus and the initiative, I'm sure. Daddy Briz. And it was nice to see something other than a Gil. And he does have a good Boromir. That all works. He's got the Fortitude and Divide and Conquer set. He's got the Evade, his defensive skill. He's got his Horn of Gondor. If I were him, though, I would put one point and 1 point only in High Warden of the White Tower, just to help take an instance of damage from the enemy's White Council. R10 Eamor. Let's see, Galadriel. Okay. And he ascended Gandalf the Grey. So, let's go down to Jason's. Another Gil. Okay. He's just getting up there with his Gil. Oh, he's got classic gear. Focus damage received. More classic gear. You know, I understand why people still use the classic gear. Some of it has better stats or the effects, but to me, I just think update it already. Come on, guys. Yes, a lot of people liked 1.0 better, but guess what? We're playing 2.0 or 2.5, whatever you want to call it. Just get with the game. You can't say that you hate the game now because you're still playing it. So he's got King of Men. He's using him. He's got the heal. Okay. Kind of odd for me to see. I would think you would reverse this only because you are running it differently than the normal damage dealer. He's got a Círdan. Respect 6, that's nice to see. You got the Falcon. And you have a R10 Legolas. Not really sure why you'd want that in there. I mean, it's not helping your gear set, a set effect. You're not going to get that much damage out of the Shire Protectors. Maybe just a little, but hey. And then those are repeats. So, as I said, this season has pretty much been decided. Erebor made us chase them, and now that everything's settled and we've closed them off from the south, going to the south or going to the west, so our allies are starting to rebuild and recapture their lands. And like I said, Lothlorien and Erebor are pretty much trapped into their original areas and their spawn and the first pass areas. So we'll take Dol Guldur in a few hours. Easy peasy. I want to say it's been a fun season, but I've missed a lot of season because, like I said, I've had stuff in real life. So some of it has been fun when I've had chances to play. I don't really like having to chase Erebor, but hey, if that's the way they play, that's the way they play. It's not necessarily completely bad strategy on their part. We moved a little bit slow as a team, but we got there eventually. This will be my last season with Dome. I'm not sure if I'm going to be taking a season off or if I'm going to go to Toby and just play one account for a season. Not quite sure, but this will be my last season with Dome, and any of the Dome players, you all have my, we have the friends list and everything. We're in Discord. Always can write me and ask me for help. just like anybody else in the game. I don't care if you're a friend or foe. If you need help, message me. So, I'm going to end it with that, and as always, make the most out of what you got.